Our southern weather is unpredictable.
We know you've seen a thing or two.
Like heavy rainstorms, extreme heat, and flying debris.
Your New South windows are custom built for your home and designed for extreme conditions.
That's why you need New South by your side.
Enjoy comfort, safety, and security.
We install peace of mind with our lifetime guarantee. Superior windows, factory direct.
New South proud.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Time, weather, and always. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chief Meteorologist Denis Phillips. Heat's still the hot topic of weather conversation, right? Just smashed the previous record for rainfall in Tampa. Still a very nice day. We've got some clouds out there, even a couple of sprinkles as another front rolls through the area. Most of us wake up to sunshine and then very warm temperatures in the afternoon. Our temperatures, they're going up and they're staying up. Really nice forecast, especially if you're planning on going to the beach or the pool. Rain chances very slim. Another beautiful day in store. It's going to bring us a very high chance of storms. Isolated showers across the area. Mother Nature likes to remind us that it isn't set by a calendar. We are always on it for you, just in case things begin to pop.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A, this is Denis Phillips Live.
Sponsored by New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers.
How you doing, everybody? It's a Tuesday night edition of Denis Phillips Live, and we have a new little thing here. I was going to lift it up and show it to you, but it's secured down. It's a button that when you press, it allows me to immediately go on air. So whatever's running on programming, if I just press this button, it just knocks whatever's off the air and it'll do what I'm doing right here. But it says not active yet. So the yellow Post-it, but the button is still there for me to press over and over and over again. Because I want to. Oh, there it is. Press, oh, and when you press it, it's a green light that comes on too. I wish you could see this. This is good stuff. It's like in war games, you know, and turn your key, sir. Turn. It's an old movie. It's a great movie, but you know, the guy wouldn't turn the key. But anyway, you flip the button and you press it, and then they go on air. So can't wait till that's active. Anyway, how you guys doing? We have got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of weather, potentially a couple of severe storms. Let's do some hellos first. And by the way, thank you to everybody who wished my son Brett and his beautiful bride-to-be Alex, both doctors in New Orleans, a happy wedding. It's on Saturday, and it does look like the weather will cooperate. So I got my son a 12-foot skeleton for a wedding present. Don't judge. Don't judge, all right? So, because they're a big Halloween family, right? And New Orleans is huge, obviously, Halloween stuff. And I called him, and I had a really tough time finding one. And I finally finagled ways to finally find one. And I'm like, hey, Brett, do you want a 12-foot skeleton? He's like, Dad, we almost put it on our registry. We literally almost put it on our registry. One thing from Home Depot was going to be the 12-foot skeleton. But I found a way, and it was Alex's birthday too, so I ordered it and had it shipped to him or delivered to him directly. So they put it up yesterday. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, but you might want to take it down because it's going to be really windy tomorrow. And he had these little stakes that they gave with him, which, trust me, will not keep a 12-foot skeleton up at all. So I got these rebar U-clamps that are going to hammer into them. But I can't get them there until I get there, which is on Thursday. And the storm will be gone by then. So I'm like, Brett, buddy, you might want to just put Skelly over onto the ground until the storm goes through. So anyway, so yeah, they're going to get some wind. We're going to get some wind and rain, although I think most of it off to the north. What else is new, right? We'll talk about that in a minute. Ryan, how you doing? Anna Maria, as always, nice to see you. Carrie in Newport Richie. Jules, we now have Bolt scores because the Rays are out of it. 2-2 in the second, I believe. We have got, and the O's, boy, Texas has just done a number on them as well. Monica, how are you? Alex in Riverview, Sun City. Stephanie, go Bolts. Lori, good to see you. Thank you very much. Ryan's talking about heat lightning. Oh, Ryan, you know better. Christina in Riverview. Hudson's in the house with Peggy. Minneapolis. Robin in Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. You guys got pounded by the Astros today, unfortunately. I was rooting for you. I mean, if we have people watching from Houston, hey, if that's your team, so be it. But I can't ever find myself rooting for the Astros after the cheating scandal that happened. But I am a grudge person. I'm the same person who will never use Mayflower Moving Company because they moved my beloved Baltimore Colts out of Baltimore in the middle of the night in a snowstorm to Indianapolis when the owner, Robert Irsay, said they would never move them, and the next day they did. That was one sentence, so, or at least one breath. So yes, I am a grudge holder when it comes to that. Oldsmar West Chase is in the house with Abby, Monica and Lutz. Dave, how you doing? Plant City with Yolanda, Cindy and St. Pete. Oh, got a penalty shot coming. Jules, I just saw that message. Michael, nice to see you. Hey, all from Michael and Megan Hudson. Storm's not going to be that bad, Judy. We'll get into that in a second. Oldsmar's in the house with Kathy, Lilman, Mary, Nicole, how are you? Seminole, Danny, Auburndale, Pamela, Clearwater, Stephen. We've got Summer. Bolts are now up 3-2 in the third. Carl gave me an update last I saw. Hello from Safety Harbor, Jane. We've got is it Melissa? Is it Melissa from Largo? You almost got me, Melissa. You literally almost got me. But luckily I read it. I'm like, what? Oh, I get it. Melissa in Largo. Bonnie, thank you very much. Sebring's in the house with Libby. Valrico's in the house with Christina. Jesse, good to see you. Deb, nice to see you. So we got lots of folks. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about what is going on. Is your Friday run in jeopardy, Joe? It is not. Linda in Spring Hill, Julianne. We still got lots of folks here. At some point, welcome to Chit Chat. Is weather coming up soon? Doubtful. Doubtful, you know. You can always tell the new folks because the Chit Chat comes before the weather. It just does. It's just the way it is here. All right, so let's jump in. Let's do some graphics first, and then we'll do some models, and then we'll talk about the severe threat. So I will tell you right off the bat, the farther north you live, the better the chances you will see rain and potentially a couple of stronger thunderstorms. Thank you, Jane. Lots of love to you. Cooler weather, absolutely, Dawn, but that won't be until Sunday into Monday. All right. So, Raul, how you doing? All right, there's the rain or lack thereof. Nothing going on right now. Temperatures right this minute in the upper 70s to the lower 80s. Venice at 82. St. Pete, 80. We have a court TV reporter, and we run her story, and she always says, with the story that's going on down there, she goes, live from Venice, Florida. I'm like, we know Venice is in Florida. We live here. You just say Venice. And I know it runs out to the other affiliates, but I hate when I hear that. And a lot of times it's the new reporters, live from Kissimmee, Florida, live from Lutz, Florida. Just say Lutz and Kissimmee and all will be good. I digress. Let's get back. Temperatures again in the 70s to low 80s. After highs today hitting upper 80s. Plant City hit 88 degrees. Tampa at 85. We started lower 50s, northern counties. You can put away the woolies. Is it Corolla? I'm here for the comments too. I am always here for the comments. Adam, how you doing? Good to see you. Somebody's birthday. I'm not sure whose, but I saw happy birthday. 84 Zephyr Hills, 84 Lake Wales, 83 St. Pete. Outside right now, Tampa is mostly cloudy, 80 degrees. The dew point is up about 15 degrees higher than it was yesterday, and the dew point will continue to rise. Hi, Jan and Joan. The dew point will continue to rise after the warm front comes through, and I'm going to get into that a little bit. We're going to get a little sciencey for you. So 85 over 68 today. The average is 87 over 71. Satellite. We had a mixture of clouds and sun today. Andy, how goes it? So the clouds will linger. Will be partly cloudy overnight. Tomorrow morning should be dry. It's always good to check out Greg bright and early because there will be some clouds and maybe a couple of showers. You and me both, Matthew. I cannot wait to put up our Christmas lights. Matter of fact, we have the icicle lights for the Halloween decorations because I've got the 12-foot Inferno and the 12-foot Skelly and the Witch and all the other stuff. And we have the purple and orange icicle lights. So when I get up on the roof November 1st and take off the purple and orange, I'm just going to put on the white ones for the Christmas lights. I'm not going to light them until the week of Thanksgiving. We have our neighborhood debut that week. And you're going to hear me talking a lot about that, folks, because I want to see the entire Bay Area come into our neighborhood in the month of December to look at what I think are the best Christmas lights in all of Pinellas County. I am biased. I admit it wholeheartedly, but I still think they are. So I want everybody to come and look at the lights. And you can come during the week if you want. It's warming up tomorrow, David. Warming up tomorrow. Marissa. Kenneth says to say hello to you. So Marissa, how goes it? Alicia and Crystal River. All right, so again, tomorrow morning clouds, maybe a shower. I'm going to go ahead and go hour by hour on this one over here. Hold on, stand by. So this takes us 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, still cloudy. Now, there comes the warm front. All right, the warm front is going to move through the area tomorrow morning. And when it does, or even the early afternoon, all right? And when it does, the temperatures will rise, the dew points will rise, and eventually the rain chances will rise. Now, here's the thing. So you've got this warm front moving into northern Florida by tomorrow evening. And then you've got your low center out in the eastern Gulf. Not going to be tropical, but it is going to be, you know, still low pressure, a little gusty at times. Not a huge deal, nothing to worry about. But why is that a concern? All right, let's talk about that. All right, so warm air rises north of the area. Higher dew points, higher temperatures, unstable air mass by definition. Low pressure coming in from the west. Spin. Right? Okay? Instability. So what we would have been hoping for in the Bay Area is that warm front would have taken longer to move north because look at that warm front. And by the way, warm front, cold front, stationary front, let's talk about that briefly. It's real simple. A few days ago, we had a cold front coming through, right? A front is a boundary, just like All's Quiet on the Western Front, the movies, right? When there is a front, it is a collision of two different air masses. In war, two different sides, but it's still a collision. It's a boundary. It's a zone, right? A cold front is the boundary between warm air and cold air, and a cold front, the cold front is winning. The cold front is pushing back the warm air. Got that? And the little blue arrows in the cold front, those pips and barbs, those are barbs, they are pointing in the direction the cold air is advancing. Maybe something else you didn't know. So as that cold air is advancing, pushing back the warm air, the cold air is winning, thus cold front going in the direction of those blue triangles. All right? So that cold front went down to South Florida and stalled out, thus becoming a stationary front. That one's pretty obvious. Stationary front ain't moving, or very, very subtle movements. Still a boundary between two air masses, cold and warm. Stationary front, no motion. That same stationary front, as the pattern and flow changes, becomes a warm front. Like, well, how the heck does that happen? Very simple. The warm air, it's like a tug of war, except it's like a reverse tug of war, right? So you know when you're going to tug of war and you're starting to win and then the other side starts to win, and you're going the other direction, and then the other side starts to, you go back and forth. All right, so imagine a reverse tug of war. That stationary front is now advancing north as a warm front because the warm air is starting to win. And thus, it becomes a warm front because the warm air advances north. So by tomorrow afternoon, that warm air will have advanced through our area and moving into north central Florida. Now, warm air by definition with that kind of a setup is unstable. Low pressure to the west adds more instability. But because that warm front, that path, if you will, that highway in the sky, if you will, is well north of us, alas, the heaviest rain will also be well to the north of us. Gene, heat, lightning, question mark. You guys crack me up. Honestly. There will be a test at the end. There will, most certainly. So, anyway. All right. So, as the warm air advances, let's go ahead and take this full so I can go ahead and move over and advance the map. All right. So, you will see the low developing and traveling along that boundary around Gainesville. Southwest flow for us, moisture coming in off the Gulf, still some showers, but the heaviest rain, as you see, tomorrow night, overnight, through the Big Bend, very similar to where Idalia went through. Now, what are we talking about? 30, gusts of 35, no biggie. It's going to be a little gusty out there. But there is enough instability that there could be a few isolated tornadoes. Why? Well, let's think about it. It's what we often say, bolts are up 4-3. Thanks for the update, Lisa. So, by the way, I predicted that the over-under of that game, 6.5, would go over, which it did at 7 now. I say that because once I get to Louisiana, sports betting is legal. So I will actually, I'm going for my son's wedding tomorrow. I think we've talked about this already. Maybe we haven't. I did on social, on Facebook. But I'll have 5 days that I could actually bet on sports, which will be awesome. And I would have taken the Bolts over tonight. Now, Zach, you bring up a good point. There will be rain, but the heaviest rain will be off to the north. So watch what happens on Thursday overnight. That's where the heaviest weather is. And then the trailing front behind the low, as the low moves across the state, it's going to have a front trailing along it, and there it comes through our area with some rain. See that? So there will be rain. It's just the heaviest rain will be north of us. That makes sense? And then I think we still see another area of energy and another front coming in on Saturday with yet again another chance of rain. So, Storm Prediction Center came out with this graphic, right? When you see the threat of tornadoes, the scale goes from 1 to 5. 1 is marginal, less than 5% chance. Slight is 15%, less than 15%, and that's the yellow color. So what we're looking at here is tomorrow evening and overnight and into early on Thursday, there is a slight chance of severe weather. By definition, that's less than a 15% chance, and on a scale of 1 being the least chance and 5 being the highest chance, it's a 2. So it's still rather low on the scale. But it still is, so you say there's a chance. And that's what I'm saying. So, we will get really sciencey in a minute, and I'll call the LIs up. Like, what the heck's an LI? LI is a lifted index. We'll look at some of the models on that, because if the lifted index is -7 or greater, then the threat of tornadoes are higher. All right, anyway. So there's a look at the severe threat for tomorrow night into early on Thursday. It's not a big deal. Might there be an isolated quick spin-up tornado? Yes, there might be. but the risk is much higher off to the north. And then you asked about the cold air returning. There it is. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much, Tula. Very kind. Ryan, you are correct. I think we will see a lot of this in the wintertime with it being an El Nino. I think this air mass starting on Monday will be colder than the last one that we just had. So how about that? Thank you very much, Jacob. Very kind. Proceeds go to Children's Miracle Network from these stars. Jacob, I don't know. I will be honest, my vice is more Diet Dr. Pepper and sweets. I'm not a big drinker. I will be honest, I'm sharing with that. I mean, I'll have a beer from time to time or whatever, but I'm really not a big drinker. I'm not. It's just never, that's not quite been my thing. Penn State over Ohio State, Andy, I'm going to tell you, I know we've got a lot of Ohio people here, but I agree with you 100%. I think Penn State beats Ohio State this year. I really do. And I don't care that the game's in Columbus. I really do. So anyway, let's get back. There's a look at the temperatures. But thank you anyway. Again, stars proceeds go to Children's Miracle Network. So thank you. Wednesday, rain chances primarily late afternoon, overnight. Thursday, more in the morning. And then as I showed you with Futurecast, it kind of rolls through the area from the morning into the afternoon. Joe, I don't know. I'm just telling you, I like the way Penn State's playing right now. I really do. Lake Placid is totally fine, Natalie. You will get nothing. You'll have nothing to worry about. Aberdeen, South Dakota. How you doing, Lise? So, I mean, Maryland had you guys running for your lives, Joe. But you might be right. They might show up in that game. All right, there's the thing again. Now the chance of development is pretty much non-existent. So this is not a tropical system, but it will be a rainmaker. And look where it's coming. I mean, it's coming to our general area. There are the rainfall numbers. Clearly off to our north gets most of it, but we will get some. Oh yeah, rain on Saturday. Maybe a few scattered showers, Brenda, on Saturday. I think most of it will be gone by then. Look at all the Ohio people. I knew it. I mean, I know we got a lot of Ohio folks here. I know we do. And I would never bash them because they're obviously a very solid team. But I just think Penn State's going to get them this year. I just do. So there's the heaviest rain off to the north. But what about our area? No, I'm missing a map here. I'm going to go back and call up the Euro. Because the Euro does have a pretty solid area of 1 to 2 inches of rain for our region from Wednesday night to Friday morning. Where is it? Is this it? No, this isn't it. This is the Euro's Futurecast. I've got, you guys know I have 400,000 unread emails, and it's a true story. So imagine how many thumbnails I have on this. Lots. All right, so this is locked up. I don't know what this is showing. This isn't showing anything. Where is this Euro map? I was looking at it earlier. I was showing it to Shay. It's on here. I will find it. I literally have like 500 thumbnails. I'm not exaggerating. 500. Maybe I won't find it. Well, anyway, it shows 1 to 2 inches of rain pretty much across the entire area over the next 5 days. Where is that map? Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Here it is. All right. So there you go. That is through Sunday. Just a solid band. Now you see areas off to the north significantly higher, but just a solid band of 1 to 2 inches of rain. So let's hope that is correct. Yeah, I have not opened any of them, Anna Maria. Those are 400,000 unopened emails. All right, so let's look at the graphics, at the models. So here's a look at the GFS. Comes through the panhandle. Then let's just look at the rest of the next 2 weeks. pretty quiet. Does look like it's trying to see a little something popping in the Caribbean and then even in the Gulf potentially. Season's not over yet. It's not. It's not. And then it tries to do the same thing down the road. I will show you, if you look at next week, obviously the higher chances are the solid red. That is in the Pacific, but there's still some in the Western Gulf. But if you look at the week of Halloween, same thing. Northern Caribbean, Western Gulf. The dark red is the higher chance in the Pacific, but it is still the potential for development from the Caribbean to the Gulf. So I still think we have another area that we're going to be watching before the month is over. I just do. Today's is one, or tomorrow's is one, and here's another one. Here's overall rainfall from the Weather Prediction Center. A good couple of inches of rain, more to the north, but that is something. Now, let's look at, going to go ahead and look at the euro. Now, we're going to look at the GFS first, hashtag cha-ching. And here's the GFS. Look at your 540 line, the freezing line, Sean. That takes you into upstate New York. You got some snow in the plains next week. Rain for the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley. There's your 540 line across the Dakotas, which we have someone here from South Dakota. A little low. Look at that little low digging in with the GFS. Whoa, look how far that front goes. That front on October 17th goes all the way through Florida. It's another strong front. Not cold per se, but a strong front. And then high pressure just kind of builds itself. And this is the 21st. Then you got it. Then it gets into the whole nonsense development in the Gulf down the road, which the GFS is notorious for developing stuff down the road. But the point is, as we look at the euro here, euro does the same thing with our low. It's a little more vigorous. The euro is a little more vigorous than the GFS as it brings it through north central Florida, potentially a few severe storms. Donna, how you doing? But again, this is not a big deal. It's going to be a little gusty, a little windy, some rain. That's it. And most of it will not be for the Bay Area, unfortunately. But the euro also brings in that front middle of next week. Pretty darn impressive looking front. So toward the end of next week. And then it actually tries to develop a little coastal low off the mid-Atlantic. So what this is already telling us, and this is, and look, boy, look at that. Look at that. The euro does the same thing the GFS does down the road. No, it does not. No, it doesn't. That's repeating. So there's where the euro brings development tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening into the Panhandle as a pretty decent rainmaker and the potential for a couple of strong storms. The weather will be great for the wedding on Saturday, Vicki. So quickly, I want to call up the instability, the LIs, the lifted index for tomorrow. And I'm going to show you that the instability is marginal at best. We could also look at the Cape. But scroll up for this. Look at all these graphics we could choose from. There's so many. There's your Cape. And there's your lifted index. All right, so here's your lifted index for Florida. And again, you would look for a -7. And what you're looking at here, where's the scale? I don't see the, kind of weird. I don't see the, I don't see what the, it's got to be on the right. Stand by. Stand by. There we go. So you're looking for a yellow to an orange. Yellow to an orange for the possibility of enough instability. And you see the yellow is offshore. Marginal instability. I mean, there's some green and a little bit of yellow. That could have -5. But because we are going to be in the warm sector. Oh, if you're watching on our streaming app, thanks for stopping by. You can tune in on Facebook as we continue. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week. Okay, so back to the Facebook page. So here's a look at the lifted index. And again, remember a -7, which is an orangey color. Yellow is -6. So that's borderline unstable enough for a quick little spin up. And you notice, where is most of that unstable air? South of where that warm front was, right? The warm front lifts north. It leaves us in a more unstable air mass. And then it's long gone by the weekend. So marginally unstable tomorrow night into early on Thursday. Could see a brief period of a couple of stronger storms and a possible tornado. The chances, believe it or not, actually of in the Panhandle is actually a little bit lower. Here, I will call it up. Because the warm front will have not gone through there. So really, our area has a little bit better chance. Yeah, see, look at the convective outlook. It's primarily in the Bay Area. Because, again, areas to the north are more stable. We're in the unstable side of that warm front. So there it is. That's a slight chance. On a scale of 1 to 5, it's a slight chance. And you can kind of read what they're saying. There is a slight chance of severe thunderstorms over portions of West Central Peninsula. That would be tomorrow. Tomorrow night, actually. Yeah. No, actually, no, I take that back. It starts, yeah, it's a 24-hour stretch. But I still think later in the afternoon and the evening is a better chances. Florida. Tropical disturbance currently over the western Gulf of Mexico. Remnants of tropical cyclone Lydia offshore the west central coast of Mexico are forecast to spread east-northeast across the northern Gulf of Mexico and southern portions of the southeast Wednesday afternoon through the overnight. The surface low associated with this activity will interact with the frontal zone draped across central Gulf Coast, thus the warm front, toward the Florida-Georgia border vicinity from late in the afternoon into the nighttime hours. Widespread showers and thunderstorms activity will likely occur in a strong warm advection regime, that's north of the warm front, across southern Alabama, Georgia, but severe potential is not expected north of the boundary across these areas. Further south of the warm front, as we were saying, boundary layer moisture will gradually increase with northward extent across the Florida peninsula. Deeper moisture will likely remain offshore the Florida panhandle with the frontal zone very near the coast. However, low to mid 70 dew points will impinge on southern portions of the coastal bend and into parts of northern central Florida. Isolated strong convection may develop near the frontal zone along the panhandle in northern Florida by late afternoon. A few strong gusts and a tornado will be possible with northern convection. Further south, severe convection is expected to increase after 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Strong deep layer shear with effective shear magnitudes greater than 40 knots are forecast. In other words, when we're talking about shear, what we're talking about there is wind blowing in different directions at different levels, and in this case, greater than 40 knots. So as it's going this way, if it's going this way at a different height, that creates rotation. So let's finish that. Strong deep layer shear with effective shear magnitudes greater than 40 knots are forecast, supporting organized cells, supercells. As the surface low approaches the coastal bend at 6Z, 2 a.m., low-level shear will increase with forecast sounding showing enlarged, favorable, curved, low-level hodographs. In other words, unstable air. Isolated damaging gusts and a few tornadoes will be possible with this activity during the overnight, early morning hours. So there you have it. Bolts are up 4-3 with 30 seconds left. Thank you for the update, Steve. So that is what we're looking at. Now, I am off tomorrow as I head toward New Orleans, but if it gets rough, it's actually going to stink because I'm leaving early Thursday morning. I'm supposed to fly out. Might be a little bumpy. Could be a little bumpy. Hopefully it won't get delayed. That would stink. But regardless, I will do updates tomorrow. And if it gets bad, I'll do an update from home tomorrow as well. So that is a possibility. So if it is, then, you know, you'll be fine Wednesday morning. Sabine, you'll be fine Wednesday morning. Nothing to worry about. So overall, the winds in our area are negligible. So this will not bring any kind of issues for winds except in isolated thunderstorms. All right? So there will not be sustained winds. There will not be gusts. There will not be any kind of a system giving us moderate to heavy wind other than in the thunderstorms that come through. And they will be few and far between. There will be some, but they'll be pretty scattered. All right? And we got an empty netter, so the Bolts cover on the puck line as well, laying 1.5 goals, if you were a Bolts fan. I am going to do a DPL from Bourbon Street. I know exactly where I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring a laptop. There's a little restaurant that I had a lemonade or something before, overlooking Bourbon Street, and that's where I'm going to do a DPL from. Friday flight 9:45, you're totally fine. No worries at all. The only issues will be in the early morning hours tomorrow night, Thursday morning. Friday, it's done. Saturday, it's done. Where is Muriel's, Bridget? No, I don't know when. All right, so they're having a family get-together Thursday at 8 o'clock. So maybe I'll do it before that. Maybe like at 7. And then after the DPL, I'll go to their house. That sounds like an idea. And I don't know what the expectations are, because this is my first one getting married, so I've never done it, so I don't know what I'm responsible for. But if I have the ability to go there around 7 o'clock, I will do a DPL from Bourbon Street around 7 o'clock. I don't think it'll be raining by Thursday night. I think the rain will be over by then. So that is my goal, 7 o'clock-ish. Frostproof, nothing to worry about, Deborah. Again, the only thing we're talking about here is late Wednesday night, 2 a.m., through Thursday morning, 9 or 10 a.m., there could be a few stronger thunderstorms. This will not be a squall line like we get with a strong cold front coming through in the wintertime. There's just going to be enough unstable air for some scattered storms, and a few could be severe. All right? Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Okay, nothing's going on, Kate. All's good. All right? The wedding is Saturday afternoon, late afternoon. So at some point, I mean, I'm going to shoot for Thursday. Friday's the rehearsal. I mean, I've never done this before, so I don't know the expectations of Dad. Maybe I don't have to do anything. That's my hope. I can just hang out. All I'm doing is, I'll be writing a check, but I don't think I have a lot of responsibility, which is good. I'm good with that. So I think I'll have some time on Thursday to have a Bourbon Street DPL. It would be fun. Fort Myers, again, I will show you. Let's go back and show you the graphic. Zoop. Right here. So here is a look at, this is overnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning. The yellow area you see there, that's a slight chance, level 2 out of 5. The dark green is a level 1. So Fort Myers is more of a level 1. I want to be really clear about this, folks, and I'm going to call it a night. There's nothing to worry about, all right? There's going to be some rain north. There's going to be a few strong thunderstorms. Maybe one or two could go severe. It's a possibility, and we'll never completely diminish that threat. But overall, this is not going to be an event where lots of people are going to get wind or lots of people. It's not. There's going to be some rain and some gusty winds and some thunderstorms. We'll have way worse storms in the wintertime with squall lines coming through. I promise you that. All right? So I think that's it. All right, guys. You have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, I will see you on Thursday night with a quick DPL from Bourbon Street. And if not, I will be sending updates as well tomorrow night. If things do get a little dicey, I will be sure to do updates tomorrow in the overnight hours from my home before we leave bright and early on Thursday morning. Sound good? All right. You guys have a great night. Be safe. And we will see you on our next edition of Denis Phillips Live. Thanks for all the kind comments and all the well wishes for Brett and Alex. It's much appreciated. See you guys.
Our southern weather is unpredictable.
We know you've seen a thing or two.
Like heavy rainstorms, extreme heat, and flying debris.
Your New South windows are custom built for your home and designed for extreme conditions.
That's why you need New South by your side.
Enjoy comfort, safety, and security.
We install peace of mind with our lifetime guarantee. Superior Windows, factory direct.
New South proud.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.